Hello and welcome to football Saturday afternoon, actually, high school football Saturday afternoon. We're here to talk a little bit about this coming Saturday's Class 4 state semifinal game. Sherando at 11 and 2 travels to two-time defending champion Salem, also at 11 and 2. We got a couple of teams that have avenged losses earlier in the season. It was Walt Moody, the sports editor at the Winchester Star, along with Rob Niedzwiecki, our sports writer and expert on these games. Rob, but tell us a little bit about how these teams got to this state semifinal game.
Well, interesting enough, both these teams lost to the teams that they beat in last week's regional championship games on September 22nd. Same date. Sherando lost that one, 31-28. Blacksburg, just totally blew out Salem 49-12 in that matchup. But both teams have been really strong since then. That's the last game that Salem's lost. They've won 8 in a row since then, and Sherando lost their next game after that, but they've won 7 in a row since then. Both teams, really strong performances last week. Blacksburg came up big late with 2 touchdowns. Salem came up big against Blacksburg last week with 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Blacksburg led that one 32-21, and wound up being a 33-32 victory for Salem. And Sherando, excellent performance as well. They won 33-21. They gained more than 400 yards in that one, and came up with 2 stops in inside their own 10-yard line to stop Liberty potential scoring drives there. So Sherando's defense they gave a lot of rushing yards last week, but they really stepped up when they needed to. So both teams come in this game with a lot of confidence.
Let's talk about when the challenges for both of these teams, both offensively and defensively. First of all, maybe talk a little bit of the challenge the Sherando defense faces against Salem's offense, which appears to be pretty balanced on paper.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Salem, they're a very physical team that like to run a lot of I formation stuff, but they've been successful this year in both through the air and run game. 278 yards per game for Salem on the ground, 157 yards per game passing. I like to run a lot out of the eye. They have a lot of success passing out of the play action. Big player for Salem's D'Angelo Ramsey. He was their star running back last year, but he left the team after 8 games. But this year is 814 yards and 23 touchdowns. And top quarterback is Jack Gladden, 1,826 yards, 24 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Very successful through play action. He's got an all-state receiver in Deontay Tucker, who's got 34 catches for 748 yards and 7 touchdowns. But the real challenge for Sherando is going to be stopping that running game, because Sherando's given up at least 270 yards in each of its last 2 games without JoJo Dolman, their star linebacker. It's hard to say if he's going to play this week. He wasn't practicing Tuesday, but it's just going to be about a physical matchup, really. Like Salem's not going to throw the ball a lot. Sherando's just talking about being able to match that physicality.
And conversely, what kind of problems do you think Sherando, which is also a very balanced offense, does that present to Salem's defense?
Yeah, I mean, Sherando's been getting the job done on offense all year. Extremely balanced with 2,676 yards passing, 2,569 yards rushing, and averaging 403.5 yards per game. Hunter Ensminger really leading the way at quarterback with 31 touchdown passes, and TJ Washington, versatile rushing and receiving threat with 1,536 yards rushing, and Ensminger's thrown for 2,566 yards. Aaron Banks is 55 catches for 960 yards, 12 touchdowns. TJ Washington, 41 catches for 597 yards and 10 touchdowns there. So, with Salem playing a lot of man defense, they're going to be putting a lot of guys in the box to kind of stop that Sherando running game. They really like to pressure teams with force them to make those passes, and with players like Aaron Banks, maybe Sherando can win some of those one-on-one matchups in the passing game. But that's going to be the key, going up against a very physical defense as well. Not particularly big up front though, so maybe Sherando could get some yards that way. 3 players that are less 200 pounds or less on the defensive front for Salem, so Sherando might be able to open up those holes, and if they get to the second level and block those linebackers, maybe they get a really successful game.
Sounds like it should be a great matchup. Our coverage leading into the game, we'll have a feature on big play receiver Aaron Banks in Friday's Winchester Star, and in Saturday's Winchester Star, we'll preview the actual game itself. Please follow us on Twitter. We'll have live updates from the game at WinStar Sports 1. We thank you again for watching, and we'll see you again.